What's going on, guys? We've been doing it for God these past couple weeks. Well, that sounded weird. Past week. We're still wearing the same clothes, and I'm still confused because we're recording 3 episodes in one day.
The only thing that's changing is the sign.
Only thing that's changing is the sign. So we've not been wearing the same clothes for 3 weeks, we promise. We are just have a busy schedule. I'm going to high school camp this week, so we won't be able to record, and then he's going to somewhere. He's going to Mexico the week after, so we won't be able to record. So
pray for me so I can come back.
Yeah, they're going to keep him.
Safely.
They're going to keep him. But yeah, we had to triple up.
We had to. We've been here since 10:30 a.m.
Yep.
So what are we talking? What are we going to talk about?
Today we are getting on to some of the Christian. What do you say? I don't know. It's a very popular thing going around right now because it just broke. This well, it just happened. There's been rumors about this guy for like 20 years. Michael Tate. We're getting to the Michael Tate stuff today. I felt like why not, but oh my goodness.
You okay?
Dandruff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my dad's hair genetics, so I started balding at 21, and I started getting dandruff, and it's like, man, it's depressing. It really is.
Yeah. I shouldn't be wearing hats, and here I
Me
am
neither.
wearing a hat.
I'm
doing a treatment. I'm doing like minoxidil.
And my hair is slicked back.
Yeah.
This is totally not good for me. And my hair genetics, they're already cooked, and now I'm just making it worse.
My dad's bald.
Yeah,
and
my
most of my
dad's bald
family is
too.
bald, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be bald in the next 10 years.
I should be bald already.
In 10 years, it's gonna be 2 bald guys in their mid-30s.
But we're talking about, I guess, more along the lines of like conviction and stuff like that. So if you don't know, Michael Tate was the singer of the Newsboys and one of the members of DC Talk, 2 very, very famous Christian bands. And over the past 20 years, there's been like rumors that this guy may be gay. I don't know. I just read that. I wasn't around 20 years ago.
Are you rejecting him for being?
No. I'm just saying that's what the rumor is. But anyway, there's some allegations that came out earlier this year about some of his fans that had met him, like meet and greets and stuff. Some boys claiming, I don't know if they were underage at the time, but there was claims that Michael Tate had inappropriately touched some male fans. And then I think, I might be wrong, but I think there was he made a statement saying that he made some mistakes. He didn't outright say that he did it, but he made some mistakes. And then right before all this stuff came out and got really like in the headlines and everything, he stepped away from the Newsboys. It's like they almost knew that it was going to happen. But I saw a video a couple of weeks ago of hotel security footage of him walking into a hotel room where he gets real face-to-face with another man.
Okay.
And allegedly, the woman that goes into this hotel room with them claims that she was sexually assaulted in that room by another man while Michael Tate watched.
Okay.
So, not good.
No.
Not good.
No.
It definitely, unfortunately, I think it's out of the statute of limitations, so he can't be prosecuted for any of this, which sucks.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks
Friction
like,
law. Yeah.
in my opinion, it looks, I don't know how like defamation, all that kind of stuff works. Like, I don't know the laws, but can I say it looks real? Like it looks true? Can I say that? Is that
sure.
Allegedly? Do I just add that at the end? Again, it's just reading off the news articles. Research it yourself. Google his name. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But we're late. We're late on the train. Actually, it's happened a couple months ago. So
Okay.
we're late.
Yeah, we talked about this on our on episode 19. I believe.
So it happened a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But the reason I want to talk about it today is talking about like the dandruff is bothering me. Personal convictions. I'm talking about like convictions. So like, I actually got into an interesting conversation with a student a couple months ago about Kanye. So we have the song on for our midweeks, our youth group playlist. We have the song "God Is" playing on there by Kanye.
By Kanye.
And I told him, I was like, "You think we should take this off?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, it's okay." Like, I know this was right after Kanye went on. Oh, he had just done his big. It was literally the day after Kanye went on his big thing on Twitter where he was like,
about
super racist about like
the Jews.
The Jews, yeah, it was really bad. It's the worst I've ever seen it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like he went off, and the next day I went in. I was like, "Hey, you think we should take the song off the playlist?" He's like, "No." We talked about like separating art from the artist, and we kind of debated a little bit. And I ended up not taking it off.
Yeah.
I haven't taken it off yet.
I mean, here's the point. Would you? So if let's say a Christian band. Let's not talk about Michael Tate.
Okay.
A Christian band makes this song about God that it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And the very next day, the lead singer raped someone.
This is Newsboys. Like, this is the Newsboys. You said don't talk about Michael Tate, but like you allegedly.
Okay,
This is allegedly the Newsboys. This is okay. I followed. Keep going.
okay. And the next day, he gets a kid.
Oh,
Just because of that, and
yeah. I think it takes away from the music. I do.
yeah,
I really, when you're in a role like that, the same way if you're the leader of a church or you're in a ministry role, people are looking up to you. Like you're on stage performing for people, not necessarily performing you're performing.
Yeah.
At the very least, you're performing.
Yeah.
At the most, you're leading people in worship.
yeah. We've talked about practicing what you're preaching.
It's not even that. It's like, maybe it is kind of that. I just think it is that. When you're in a ministry role,
You have to,
you're called to
practice it.
lead a certain way.
yeah,
And if you're in a ministry role, why are you not living like you believe in Jesus?
it's like going to AA saying like, you guys are not allowed to drink, and right after the AA meeting, you go and have a couple beers.
Yeah. And like, I'm not saying that like Michael Tate is not saved. I'm not saying he's losing his salvation because of this.
It's not on us to save someone.
No. I'm not questioning his salvation or anything like that at all. I am saying, like, and I understand that there's people out there, real Christians who genuinely out there struggle with same-sex attraction and wrestle with that, and it's difficult. I understand that.
Yeah.
But from what's coming out right now, from what it looks like, and from the comments that are being made, and from Michael Tate and the band and everything like that, is like this guy was living a life of sin that wasn't really being confronted.
Yeah.
Like all the Newsboys members, like, yeah, we had no idea. Really, bro?
BS.
Really?
Yes.
And it looks like this life of sin was being lived unconfronted while he was in a lead ministry role. That's what you're the leader of a worship band. You're in a ministry role, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
The expectation there is that you go into that music industry and you live a life that portrays Jesus and not one that portrays the world.
Yeah.
Like this guy was out there being the P. Diddy of the Christian, of the Christian music. There's no other way to put it. Like from what's coming out right now, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Not to the same scale, of course, and not to like the blackmail and all of that. But as far as like the assault goes, it's pretty close.
It's crazy that he
allegedly.
It's crazy that he got absolved of his crimes.
Oh yeah, he got acquitted of the big ones. That is.
That's crazy.
The American justice system is flawed.
How big the paycheck would have been.
Yeah, the American justice system is flawed. But we don't have time to go into Diddy right now.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to bring that up since you said P. Diddy.
All this to say, people have personal convictions.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be convicted by some things that other people will not be convicted by.
Yeah.
So, like back to my conversation with the student, I didn't take God Is off the playlist. I understand where he's coming from, and I think it's okay as far as like youth group is an outreach event. I think it's okay to leave it on there.
Yeah.
That conviction might come back to me later. I still personally don't like it on there.
Yeah.
But for now, I was able to settle that. But then this past week, I was driving home in my car from work, and I'm listening to my playlist. And on my playlist, I got Newsboys on there.
Yeah.
And every time it just came on, I couldn't worship to it.
Yeah.
I legitimately couldn't worship to it. I used to love them. Like I loved He Reigns was a great song that I loved. They did a version of Speak Jesus that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just couldn't worship to it anymore.
Yeah.
The song came on and I felt like I was being led in worship by somebody who really wasn't following Jesus. And I'm not accusing him of that. I'm just saying that's how it felt because of what has been coming out.
Yeah.
And so I just took it off. I took it all off the playlist. There's no point in me having it on there.
Yeah.
If I can't worship to it, I have a worship playlist to guess what? Worship. And if I can't worship with the music on there, I had to take it off. But that's just a personal conviction.
Yeah.
It's not like if I got in your car and you were playing Newsboys, I'd be like, oh man.
What are you doing,
Oscar's
bro?
in trouble.
What are you doing, bro?
Oscar's in
You better
trouble.
get it
man.
right, bro. Stop listening to that music.
Yeah.
What do you think about secular music?
And like, do I listen to it or like what?
No, like listening to it. What do you think about that?
The type of media that you intake, music, TV, movies, video games, whatever media you're consuming is going to influence you, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that. Media influences you.
Yeah.
And so if you're listening to stuff that's constantly talking about violence or constantly talking about sex or constantly talking about drugs or constantly talking about, like for me, here's another conviction for me. Here's a good example. Country music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of country music is about sex. I never realized this.
And
So
getting
much,
drunk.
so much about country music is about sex.
Yeah.
And I really can't listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
There's like love songs that I can listen to here and there. There's like some Reba. Reba was pretty clean as far as like most of it. I can listen to some Reba every now and then, but it's like I used to love country music. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
But as I kind of walked closer with God, that was a personal conviction that I had. I didn't feel comfortable hearing all these different singers talk about like having sex.
Dude,
It's just how it is.
that happened to me with a Toby Keith song.
Toby Keith.
Rest
yeah.
in peace.
Yeah.
I think it's called As Good As It Once was.
Yep. As good as I was.
And
It's a great song.
The beginning of the song is literally him trying to pull a threesome.
Yeah. With two sisters.
With his sister.
It's crazy. And so it's like, I never really caught on to this stuff until like God revealed it to me.
Until you actually listen to it.
Like it wasn't even me. Like Jesus
Yeah.
just revealed it. He's like, hey, it's time to move on from this. And so I did.
Yeah.
And so my country playlist keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
So I do think you're influenced by the media that you consume. So I do think you got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
And I do think you will be convicted by certain things as you grow closer with Jesus.
Yeah.
However, I don't think you have a right to go out there and tell people what they should be convicted by.
That's exactly where I'm going. So I saw a video the other day in Instagram, popped up, and it was a Hispanic Christian church, and the lead guitar was pulling up the solo from Sweet Child of Mine from Guns N' Roses.
Yep.
No, Guns N' Roses doesn't have that big reputation, but
They do got a bad reputation.
yeah.
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 Apparently the songs are about 14-year-olds. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
But anyway.
you have the lead guitar pulling the solo from Sweet Child of Mine as part of the worship set.
okay.
He's not playing the song, he's playing the solo, he's playing the melody on a Christian adaptation of a adaptation of a Christian song.
Yeah.
I knew this was gonna have a lot of negative comments, which it's where I'm going. I saw a comment of a woman saying that I don't remember if I liked it. I kind of want to pull my phone, but I'm recording on my phone as well. Paraphrasing. So the lady was saying, you guys are so into the world, and if you keep walking this path, you are never going to be saved and you're going to go to hell. You have to repent and stop listening and playing this secular music that's not going to do any good to you or your faith. In Jesus' name, amen.
I think she's kind of right.
She is kind of right.
I think
But-
she's kind of right.
No. But we're so I'm going from. It's not for us to say if someone's gonna be saved or not. It's not for us to say if someone's. It's not for us to convict.
Correct. Yeah. So I think as everybody has their own personal walk with God, right?
Yeah.
Which means everybody's going to have their own personal convictions. You're going to feel a certain way about certain things that other people are not going to feel the same way about.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And we have to respect that. As fellow Christians, we need to respect something. If I go watch, I don't know, Deadpool. If I go watch Deadpool and Wolverine, but you don't like that because Wade is saying cuss words and cutting people's heads off and
Or
there's sex in the first and second one. It's
Wade
like,
saying,
it's
Marvel's
very inappropriate.
Jesus.
Like, yeah. Well, yeah, no, that's it. I pulled that example to nowhere, but that was really good.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt convicted by Deadpool saying that he was Marvel's version of Jesus. Like he was
Yeah.
the Marvel Messiah. That's fine. That's good. Be convicted by that.
yeah.
But don't go try to attack other Christians or other followers of Jesus because they're not convicted in the same way. I think people cope and they say, "Oh, you're just giving into the world." No, my walk with Jesus just looks a little bit different than yours.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just so insecure in your faith that you can't step outside of that boundary a little bit. And I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm not saying it's always people being insecure. I'm not at all. I do think that there's some people that I usually respect people who have better convictions than me.
Yeah.
If you didn't go see Marvel, like Deadpool and Wolverine, because Marvel Jesus, and you felt convicted by that, I don't have that level of conviction.
Yeah.
Your faith seems stronger than mine. Awesome.
I didn't feel
Awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. It's
when
like,
I heard that.
I didn't laugh at the joke. Like, to me, it's not funny. Like,
Yeah.
but it's not like it was like, oh, I'm gonna boycott, like, and all this.
Yeah.
It's just not. That's not. I don't get convicted by that. But if you do, that's fine. Don't project your insecurities or your convictions onto somebody else because it's not your responsibility. However, as the church, you do have a responsibility to not conform to the world.
Yeah.
You are the leader. So as far as like in the middle of a worship set playing secular music, I think it's wrong. I do.
Okay.
I think it's wrong. I think whoever the worship leader was, that should have stopped that.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong to incorporate secular music into worship. You're there kind of just standing in reverence of this amazing king, of this creator, worshiping him. And I think using music that is inherently sinful is, even if you kind of like change it, using it, I think it's wrong.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I think all things God works for good, and you can use all your skills to worship God in any way you want. I think that, like, if you're playing the guitar, you can worship God by doing that.
Yeah.
But there's a certain way to go about that, specifically when you're leading a worship set.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say the church was wrong in that, but I think the person is also wrong. The commenter is also wrong in the fact that it's like, again, she's coming at the like judging an entire church's salvation based off a worship set that you didn't agree with.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
That's a little extreme.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
However, again, back to that. I think Paul would be writing them a letter. Like, I think he'd be getting a signed letter from Paul. Yeah. I don't agree with it. I do think there's got to be some sort of separation to be like, hey, this is what the secular world teaches. This is what the church teaches. Yeah. And there's got to be a wall, and you can't blend the two. You can't blend the two because I think actually on Sunday morning in a worship set, you can't blend the two. I think what people fail to realize is that Sunday morning service is not for evangelists. It's not to get everybody to come to church. Mm-hmm. It's for Christians to have a place to go learn how to go evangelize in their own lives. The church, and this is my take on the church, is like...
That was the mission of the church.
The church is there not so you can come bring your friend and hear the friend can hear the pastor talk. Yeah. The church is so the pastor can talk to you. You can feel convicted. You can get your life right. You can walk with Jesus. And then guess what? You can go start living your life, and Jesus is going to shine through you. Yeah. And people are going to start coming to Jesus through you because they see that light. They see Jesus. They see the Spirit moving. And I think that's been lost. Yeah. And when you start to blur those lines between secular and church, I think it gets lost even more. Yeah. Because the church is not a secular meet and greet. It's not a place for all these people that are of the world to come have a day off. That's why they don't do it. It's here for believers to walk stronger with God, to have a day to readjust, to realign, and say, "Yeah, I haven't been focusing." Yeah, I think there's a reason the church is usually on the Sabbath day. That's what the Sabbath day is for. When you combine those two together, you kind of hit this reset button in your week that realigns your heart. Yeah. Not to go on a tangent there, but it's just like there's a role the church plays, and I think that part of that is distinguishing the church and Jesus from the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But again, back to the personal conviction thing, I don't think anybody has the right to say that somebody's convictions are not strong enough. Yeah. Like, who are you, bro? Get out of here. Yeah. I remember the Marvel Jesus thing. I really do remember that. That was so crazy. People feel bad about nothing.
I mean, I felt uncomfortable about it, but it's not like I go like everyone who watches this movie.
Like, I saw those videos.
Is not saved.
Yeah. Like, do you really love Jesus if you're going to watch Deadpool and Wolverine? Yeah, bro.
I do. I do love God.
And I enjoyed the movie. Jesus. And I enjoyed the movie. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I liked it. Yeah. Seeing Hugh Jackman, course I did.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was. No, I'm not gonna
What?
say it. I'm not
What?
gonna say it.
No, you gotta say it.
No.
Say it.
No.
What is it about?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
What are you gonna say?
We're gonna have this guy who commented on the previous video. It was a very gay movie.
It was gay.
Yeah.
It was like a bromance.
No, it was gay.
That was a
It
bromance.
was gay.
Deadpool
It's not a
mov-
bromance.
Deadpool Wolverine is like a
just
bromance.
because I love my bro, I'm not gonna slap him on the ass. I'm just saying.
But
like,
Deadpool's always been gay.
yeah, that was always gay.
Deadpool's always been like a
Yeah.
very
Yeah, but I think
bisexual character.
pushed it to the limit on the. On
I
that one.
mean, I thought it was very Deadpool-like. I don't know.
no, I love Deadpool, but the whole movie was very gay.
No, I feel like it's always been like that. Like that's how Deadpool is. All the movies are like
I
that.
mean, I remember.
Go back and watch Deadpool 1 and 2. They're all like that.
I mean, I remember Cable.
Deadpool's the same way with Cable in the second movie
Yeah.
that he is with Wolverine in the third.
Yeah.
And he's the same way with Colossus in the first that he is with Cable and Wolverine in the second and third. He's always had a bromance in all
I
of
don't
them.
know. I haven't watched.
And they're going to put him in a Spider-Man movie. He's going to do the same thing.
I haven't watched Deadpool 1 or 2 lately. I've seen them before. But,
Yeah, no, like go back and watch them. It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same.
Okay.
It wasn't more. The other ones
Maybe
are
that's
worse.
why. So it's been a while, and then I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and I thought, right.
Yeah. No, that's all. The other ones are worse. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I take it back. I take it back.
Anyway, everybody has
take
their
it
own
back.
personal convictions, and I don't think it's
Yeah.
the right of me to try to force mine on you.
Yeah.
I saw it again. This happened with the movie Sinners, the Sinners movie.
Yeah.
With
I haven't
Michael
seen
B.
that.
Jordan. I haven't seen it either. I heard it's really good though. With Michael B. Jordan and Haley Seinfeld and some other guys.
Yeah.
I just know it's about vampires. That's about it. But apparently people were like,
Twilight?
I saw people commenting. So the Lord's Giant, one of my favorite Instagram people.
Yeah.
He went to go. He did like a movie review on it.
Did you see his video about the 4th of July?
Yeah, I love him. He's the best.
He's the best.
I love him. But anyway, he did like a movie review on the Sinners, and people were just like, "You shouldn't have seen this." I was like, and he kind of, I think he might have touched. If I remember right, he might have touched on it just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be careful with the conviction thing.
Yeah.
It's okay to have your own convictions. It's okay to be like to feel strongly about something and not want to do something, but it's not okay to force your convictions on another person. And that's not my words.
Yeah.
That's Paul's. Romans 14:13. Therefore, let us not pass judgment on one another any longer, but rather decide never to put a stumbling block or hindrance in the way of a brother. Of course, there's context there, which I'm not going to touch on. I'm slightly taking this verse a little bit out of context, just a tiny little bit. But I think it works both ways. It's okay to uphold somebody and hold them accountable, like for sin and something, like something that's definitely sin. But if there's something that's like blurring the lines, I guess, I don't know how to say this. The best way is like the media. Consuming certain type of media. Whether it's a song that you think somebody shouldn't be listening to, or a movie that you think they shouldn't be seeing, a game they shouldn't be playing. I think it's okay to mention that. I don't think it's bad to hold. Hey, like, have you prayed about that game? Like that? Have you prayed about that song? That song seems kind of violent. That song seems kind of sexual. Have you prayed about that? Like, maybe you should check that. I think that's okay. I think like if you're in a friendship with somebody and you know somebody, I think it's okay to hold somebody accountable like that.
Yeah.
But to say, hey, that song's like, you can't listen to that. Like, you're going to go to hell if you listen to that.
Yeah,
Which happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, and I say a lot, but like, it's all online.
Often.
I think online makes it seem like a bigger issue than it actually is.
Yeah.
But it still happens.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between those two. The difference between holding a brother accountable and seeing with, and then actively like hindering them and pushing them down. Like, there's a difference. I think we just got to warn about that. Like, be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, just be careful, especially with the media. The media is, if you're basing your agenda off of the media.
I'm talking like media, like that you intake. I'm not talking about like media. Like
do you
media
mean?
as in the forms of like music is a form of media.
Yeah,
Games a form
Yeah.
of media.
that's what I'm.
What are you talking about? Like agenda? I thought you were talking like
No, I'm not talking.
thought you were
about
talking about
politic. No.
political
No.
media, like
Like
CNN
we've
and
said it before. We follow our
Fox
own
News.
agenda.
fake news.
Fake news.
Huge, huge fake news. Get them out of here.
Liberals versus conservatives.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Yeah, definitely be careful of what you're listening, watching, and reading to.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, reading. I forget about reading.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I forget about reading.
yeah. Woo.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Just be careful about that. If you think that's going to separate you from God, maybe it's time for you to
feel like-
stop doing it.
Yeah. If you feel like it's maybe something you shouldn't be reading or watching, it's probably something you shouldn't be reading or watching.
If you're asking
If you're-
questions about this is wrong or this is right, don't do it.
Yeah, like if you're walking with God, like if you're actively having a relationship with God and you're pursuing Jesus, you're pursuing the Spirit, and you have this feeling of like, maybe I shouldn't watch. Like for me, here's a good example. The Witcher 3, my favorite game of all time. I don't play it anymore. I can't go back and play it because I play it, and it's like just nudity, and it's just left and right, unavoidable in cutscenes. You can't even like get out of it. Some of the monsters that you fight, like naked.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so
It happens to me with God of War.
yeah, so like I personally felt convicted by it. It's something I had to kind of leave behind. I still
Yeah.
love the story that it tells, and I love the game. I always will, but I don't ever go back and interact with it because I had that conviction.
Yeah.
And it came to a point where I was just walking with God, and one day I woke up and I was like, I went to go play the game, and I was like, I just don't feel like I should do it.
Yeah.
And so when you feel that, listen to it, pursue that feeling, chase that thought. But yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes part of walking with Jesus is giving up stuff that you love, and that's a hard reality to face. But
Yeah.
but it's a real one.
Yeah. I would say if you're not doing it for God, don't do it. But that's a little extreme. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who loves world music, loves all sorts of video games, all sorts of whatever thing they're reading.
No, I definitely
Well,
think
I'm gonna
I
say
think
it.
there's
Yeah, whatever
Christians
you
out
do.
there that like who love God and pursue Jesus and
Yeah.
love Him every day, and they still listen to
to
secular music.
Secular music.
Like that's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not their conviction. If they're not being impacted by it, it's fine.
That shouldn't interfere with your relationship with God.
Yeah. If it doesn't, then I think
Yeah.
you're good.
But yeah, if you have questions about, oh, should I be listening to this song? It's talking about nudity. It's talking about sex.
Ask somebody.
Or
Like-
if you're feeling that conviction, don't do it.
Or don't-
listen to it. Yeah. That's a good statement. If you feel conviction about something you're doing, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. That's what conviction's there for.
Redundant.
That's what the conviction's there for. But all right.
Yeah. Well,
No, I opened. You got to close.
I gotta close.
Come
Okay.
on. Pay attention.
Pay attention. It's my podcast.
It is your podcast.
Well, thank you for watching, listening, or
That's it.
yeah, that's it.
Touching.
Yeah, thank you for watching, listening.
Watching, listening. What else are you going to say? Touching?
No,
No, we're not Michael
that's
Tate.
inappropriate.
We're not Michael Tate.
That's inappropriate.
Oh, sorry.
Just please share the content. Stop convicting people. Stop telling people that they're going to hell. No.
Well. There's a time and
No,
place.
no,
There's a
sorry.
time and place for that.
No, yeah. So,
There's a time and place for that.
Stop telling people that they're going to hell
Because they're
because
listening
they're,
to certain type of music.
Yeah, because
or,
they're listening or doing something that you commute with.
like those are your fellow brothers
Yeah.
and sisters in Christ.
Yeah.
They're pursuing God. I mean, if they're not, you'll see it and you can confront them on that. But it's like if they're
Limit your comment
if
to
they're
hey,
pursuing God,
hell is real.
let them listen to their Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Let them.
It's good as it once was.
But
It's a great song though.
yeah, it is.
It is a good song.
So is that the 4th of July one? You
Which
know,
one?
you know which one? The what is it called?
Ah, who's saying?
It's Toby Keith. It's the
yeah.
courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
Oh, okay. I haven't.
It's like what he did after 9/11. He wrote the song.
Yeah.
It's about like killing terrorists. That's what it's about. I swear.
Yeah. And if you like to rock
America.
too, I've seen it been here, time
Yeah,
too.
I'm a big country music fan. That's why it sucks that I have to like Sometimes conviction sucks because like you want to listen to it. And it's like, well,
it's like, well, maybe I should.
no, like God told me no, so I'm not going to. But then at that point, once you're convicted and you know you shouldn't do it, but you do it anyway, then I think it's sin.
Yeah.
Then I think it's sin because you know, like you felt the conviction, you felt I shouldn't do this. It's leading me away from God. I got to stop. But then you do it anyway. That's sin. So it's like, that's a conversation for another time.
Okay. Okay. I like that. We'll leave it for another time.
But
so share our content, subscribe, like, and just I don't know, just
do it for
comment
God.
something.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do it for God.
Comment something. We'll respond. And just whatever
comment
you're doing.
Anything. It don't matter. Hate comment, love comment.
Just hi.
Hey, anything gives interaction.
Yeah. Just
some guy
we want interaction.
Some guy said something crazy and it don't matter. Give us interaction.
I kind of
we don't got time for that. We don't got time for that.
We do. We have 2 minutes for it.
I literally don't.
We have 2 minutes for it.
No, I literally don't. I literally don't. No, I got it. I don't.
All right.
But anything, yeah.
Yeah.
And just remember whatever you're doing,
just do it for God.
Amen.
And we'll see you in the next episode with different clothing now.
Yeah. We will have different clothes next time.
Yeah. See you next episode.